So I had a question from one of you guys, one of my wonderful viewers, yesterday I think it was, about, because I'd made a comment that a 3 by 9 inch panel is not my favorite. It's a good format, it's a good shape for landscapes. I mean, it's so ubiquitous among so many artists. I'm not knocking the shape. It's a very personal thing. Myself, I have painted a lot of, did I say 3 by 9? I meant 9 by 12. I have painted a lot of 9 by 12s. I've painted a lot of 18 by 24s. I've painted several, 30 by 40 inch canvases. And others that are the same ratio, you know, it's a 3-4 ratio. So, honestly, I don't know. I think it probably has to do with the 3 by 9, not because of its shape, but rather because of its size. And I still consider a 3 by 9 to be sort of a panel, a study size. Maybe my thinking is contaminated with my original inspiration of plein air painters, the group of 7 in Canada, who were known to do a lot of 8 by 10 panels. And because, as I mentioned a couple of videos ago, I don't just go out on day trips too often. Usually if I'm going to plein air paint, I'll do it when I'm on a camping trip, in which case I need to take a bunch of panels, and once they're painted I need to protect them. Years ago I went up to the north end of Stave Lake. My wife dropped me off. I took a small boat up there and I stayed there for 14 days. Fortunately, one of my friends joined me a few days later and we spent a couple of days. So I didn't get a lot of painting done. It was a lot of fun. But for about 10 days I managed to get 21 panels done. All of them, if I remember correctly, were 8 by 10. Or I might have put some 5 by 7s in there as well. But I have a carrier that can hold several 5 by 7s. So that's why I structure my plein air painting that way, or my supplies that way, or my equipment that way. And I don't want to add an additional 9 by 12 box to carry several with me. I don't have a setup as many people do, where you can put your palette, your paints, everything all in one and just fold it together, walk out into the bush. I'm not that interested anymore. I used to enjoy that kind of thing more, but these days I'm just getting old and lazy. So my answer is I do not know why it's not my favorite. I'm not knocking it. It's a fantastic shape, but it's not my cup of tea. That's all there is to it. That's why I stick with my 8 by 10s, and I'm probably just going to stay that way for the time being. Looks like weather's not going to be too bad over the next few days. I'm hoping to get out plein airing. Done my lawn mowing for a few days. I don't think I have to stick around home during the day in the near future. So we'll take this thing and probably a few others. But unlike usual, I'll probably just do the one study. I just have to think of a place to go there, and report back to you. Well, no, I'll report back to you. I'll take you along. For the first time in a long time, well, actually I think I've only done it once, is taking you along when I did a plein air. But for what it's worth, we'll give it a whirl. As I say, I'm not big on editing. I like to do a one-off, you know, the whole thing. So we'll set things up, do the painting start to finish, describe things as I go, and as usual I'm making big promises, but you know I'm a liar. Talk to you soon. I hope that answers your question. It was a good question because I'd never really thought of it. 9 by 12s had been requested from me in the past. I shied away from it, and I've actually said, you know, my words were really, I'm just, you know, it's not my preferred shape for that smaller size. And that's fine, you know, nobody really pushed the issue further. But I've never really thought about it. I really haven't had to. But it was a good point. Talk to you soon, guys. Enjoy your 9x12s, because it's a good shape.